Hello and welcome to episode 5 of interviewing our subject leaders and other sixth form staff. Today we talk to Miss Chappell about the A-Level Economics course. Without further ado, please enjoy the episode. Why choose A-Level Economics?
I've always loved economics ever since I studied it when I was at school in the sixth form, mainly because it's a very clever subject and you can see its application in the real world every single day in every single thing that you do. Especially at the moment with Brexit and COVID, every single news bulletin or article or newspaper is full of stories which involve economics. So it's a really topical subject that covers all aspects of life. Intellectually, it's very challenging as well. And as I say, I've always found it very fascinating. It's just a really enjoyable subject to teach and for students to learn.
What is your favourite part of the A-Level Economics course?
I've always preferred the microeconomics to the macroeconomics in terms of economics, in that I enjoy looking at the decisions that individual people and individual businesses make about what to do with their scarce resources. Mainly because I think this is the area that you can see all day, every day, in all aspects of what you do. So I prefer the microeconomics. I like the diagrams that are involved in the microeconomics, and I especially like the newer topics that we look at in A level, such as the behavioural techniques, which are combining psychology with economics and looking at how actually in the real world decisions aren't just made by consumers that are being rational and trying to maximise their utility or benefit. That actually sometimes as consumers we can make decisions that are very irrational and that are actually bad for us. But again, looking at the models and the theories behind it, I find really interesting. And then when you link that with how businesses and how the government can then choose policies and make decisions which can then play on those behavioural techniques in order to encourage individual people or businesses to act in certain ways, I just find really interesting.
What is it that got you into teaching?
I've always wanted to teach ever since I was about 4 or 5. Whenever I used to go out and play with my friends, we used to play teaching, and I used to. So one of those things I've always known from a really young age that I've wanted to teach. But up until I was probably doing A levels, I always thought I was going to teach music. I was always going to be a music teacher who used to play lots of music and play lots of instruments. And then when I was in the sixth form, I did A-Level Economics and just fell in love with the subject. And it also dawned on me that actually, if you taught A-Level Economics, but also I teach GCSE Business Studies and A-Level Business Studies as well, that the students who study your subjects are students who've chosen it as well. And that makes a real big difference in terms of teaching the lesson and enjoyment of the lesson and engagement in the lessons as well. But no, I've always known I was going to teach.
What are the A-Level results like on this course?
They are we get a range of results, because obviously the results year on year will depend on the students that do it. Every year, for as long as I can remember, we have students who get A's and A stars, so the highest grades in economics. In A levels, as well as some students who perhaps are achieving slightly below that. But at the end of the day, if you work hard and you follow the advice, you can get some really good results following A level economics.
What advice would you give to a prospective student, and how can they prepare for this course?
I think the most important thing is that you have to have a real genuine interest in what is going on in the world around you. To be successful at economics, you need to be quite rational and quite logical, because you do have to be able to understand and explain the models that we use to explain how individuals and businesses and how the government behaves. But to be successful and get the best grades, you've got to be able to apply that and give examples of that in the real world, and have that level of interest where you can actually then think about, well, no, I can see why a person is spending this money and buying this product, and I can use supply and demand to explain that. But what I can't explain is then why they're doing this at the same time, and being able to have your own ideas and prepared to research and read around the subject. So I think, as with all subjects at A-level, a genuine interest is the best way to be successful in your A-level subject.
What type of student should choose this course?
I think to be successful in economics, you don't have to be a certain type of student or a certain type of person. Some people believe that to be successful at A-level, you need to be quite mathematical and logical, and that's not really the case at all. I think you have to be able to explain yourself very clearly and be able to put a logical answer together. But also you have to be interested in looking at both sides of an argument. But also you have to have that interest in the world around you and want to be able to explain things that are happening in the world around you, and to be able to present that argument coherently is really important.
What are the expectations of students doing this course?
The expectations are, as I say, from my point of view, you're going to have good attendance, you're going to come in, you're going to work hard. But actually what really makes a difference for me, as I say, is the students who watch the news, read the newspapers, and are constantly questioning. The lessons I enjoy the most are where the students are actually questioning, well, why is this happening? Well, why is that happening then? So how can you link it to this? Or, well, why did that government do this then, if you've just told us that? It's that inquisitive and engagement that makes the difference and makes the best students really in economics.
And finally, what has been the highlight of your career?
That's really difficult, because for me, I've always known I wanted to go into teaching, and it's because I've always just liked the idea of making a difference to people. And some of what I consider to be my successes aren't necessarily about good A-level results or students going to the best universities or getting promotions and so on. And I think some of my biggest or most satisfying moments have been where I've seen students who have really struggled but have persevered and turned it around, or students who really didn't like the subject and wanted to give it up and just couldn't do it, and then they have that light bulb moment and they really enjoy the subject and get that sense of achievement and satisfaction from helping them to sort of turn things around and to be successful and to be happy. And certainly with students that I've helped when I was Senko in the school, or when I used to be head of sixth form, it's about the students that you can make to also on a personal level in terms of their life, and being happy and achieving something at school which then enables them to do what they want to do next.
Okay, thank you.